This is the cover of X-Men #6 by Jim Lee, inked by Art Thibert. Jim was the main artist on the X-Men in the late 80s and early 90s. Jim and I have been close friends since about that time, and this was a piece of art that he gave me for my birthday in the mid-90s. An incredible artist and a very generous person. This is Frank Kiehn doing Gasoline Alley in 1944. It is a daily with Skeezix, who is one of the main characters in the strip, with his girlfriend Nina, where they decide to get married. I have a soft spot in my heart for romantic art. This particular piece was in a Philip Weiss auction about 15 or 20 years ago, and a good friend of mine, Richard Martinez, who's a art collector from Hawaii, was also very interested, but Richard, knowing how much I also love romantic art, stepped aside and let me buy this particular piece, and it's one of my favorites in my collection. All right, this is Gary Trudeau's Doonesbury from 1974. This was a strip that I read from a very early age. I always enjoyed it. It had a very dry sense of humor. This particular strip features one of the rare instances of Zonker streaking, so it's a personal favorite of mine. This is a Bill Kiehn Family Circus Sunday from the 1960s. I have a weakness for Family Circus strips. A lot of people make fun of me for it, but I don't care. I love it. This particular strip I saw on eBay, and I decided that I had to have it. It was so unique in execution. It was so different from any other Sunday I'd ever seen. The central figure is almost a Dr. Seuss character to me. When it came up on eBay, I waited till the end and I put in a very, very high bid for it, and over $1,000, which for Family Circus, even now, that's a pretty high bid. But I got lucky. It went for about $200. So I was very happy to get it, and it was a nice addition to my ridiculously large Family Circus collection. This is a page from Betty and Veronica #37 from the late 1950s by Dan DeCarlo. DeCarlo was, to me, the Carl Barks of Archie artists. He had such a beautiful line, a great sense of fashion. His characters were real. They had a incredible sexuality, yet were always very innocent. This particular page has a great gag with Betty and Veronica, and the reaction on Veronica's face is just priceless to me. DeCarlo will always be, to me, the definitive Archie artist and Betty and Veronica artist. As a kid growing up reading comic books, my three favorite comics were all published by DC. Tarzan by Joe Kubert, Commandy by Jack Kirby, and an obscure backup story in Detective Comics called Manhunter. Manhunter was a short series that was unlike anything else I had ever read, and it gripped me in a very different way than Tarzan and Commandy, which I don't love any less, but there was something about Manhunter, the combination of Archie Goodwin's writing and Walter Simonson's artwork was so mesmerizing and so unique and real that I just wanted more and more. And as the years have gone by, I find myself loving Manhunter just as much. And it was truly a privilege to do Manhunter as an artist edition, and I was lucky enough to do Commandy and Tarzan also. So three of my all-time favorite books have become artist editions, which is pretty gratifying. About 18 or 19 years ago, I was at a restaurant in La Jolla when I was working for Wildstorm with Walter and Wheezy Simonson, and Walter told me he had a present for me, and it was this particular page, which sorry, I was just getting a little bit choked up. Walter gave me this piece of art because he knew how much I love Manhunter, which just was an amazing gesture by one of the absolute nicest guys in comics, period. And I was very touched by it, and I still am. So, Walter, thank you.